Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about all the bags that I consider overpriced or just not worth the money anymore in 2024. I've been really wanting to make a video about this for a while, specifically since a price increase that recently happened, so we're definitely gonna talk about that. So if it's the morning, get comfy, grab your coffee. If it's a bit later, then grab a glass of wine, a snack, and let's sit down and talk about handbags. So I think after the pandemic, things changed quite a lot in the luxury industry and the luxury community on YouTube, and just in general, like you can see the difference in behaviors of people shopping and the prices and the type of content that people were posting pre and post pandemic for sure. But there's a point where it's just getting a bit ridiculous, and there's one specific brand that really wanted me to make this video because I felt like I really wanted to talk about it, which is going to be the first bag on the list that I consider that is just not worth the price point anymore. And that is going to be the Chanel Classic Flap. I have it. I just cannot believe the price point that it has right now versus 2019. This is not the first time that I mentioned this in a video. I have a video where I compare the prices of when I bought the bags versus how much they are now. But I really wanted to make this video because all of the conversation that has been had specifically on Instagram and YouTube about the latest price increase that Chanel is going to have. We all know that this has always been a topic. Every time that Chanel has a price increase, it becomes outrageous. No one wants to buy Chanel anymore. A few months pass and they release a new collection where they have this new shade of pink or this new fantastic design of handbag, and then we forget about it and we shop Chanel again. And I'm guilty of this so much. I've complained about price increases for almost 6 years now, and every single time I try to outrun the price increase, save up before it happens, and when it happens, everyone is pissed, everyone talks about it on social media, and everyone keeps asking, are the bags worth it? And the answer for a while now has been no. And I think last year was the first time that I could see a change where everyone literally kind of dropped Chanel and turned their heads to Dior, to Hermès, which also made it quite of an issue because everyone started asking themselves, do I really want to pay 10,000 for a classic flap when the quality is different? You cannot really compare Hermès with Chanel. So now everyone that was really happy and loved buying Chanel became more interested in being Hermès customer. So it started a bigger demand, more Hermès content. And honestly, yeah, why would I want to go buy a classic flap if every time that I go into the store, they're not the best with their customer service? At least this is what I can say from my experience. They never have anything in stock, and I see so many defective, crooked bags with dents. The quality keeps going down while the prices go up, and the customer service is not really improving at all. Even the aftercare, if you have any issues with your pieces, from almost everyone that I hear that has had issues with their bags or watches or jewelry or shoes, they just are not very willing to help you out. Because yes, if we're honest, if someone is offered a Birkin in store, let's say a Birkin 25, I'm gonna put the price that it has, versus you go to Chanel and you can spend your money on a classic flap, and you take in mind resale value, customer service, craftsmanship, and all of that, it just really doesn't make sense. And personally, I don't know what I was expecting when these price increases started to be like a problem. And what I mean a problem is that I kept saying, okay, after this price increase, I'm done and I'm done and I'm done. And I don't know if I ever expected Chanel to slow down on their price increases, but at least on the percentages of how much they increase every price increase, that's something that I thought that at some point was gonna slow down a little bit. Yes, we would see the biannual price increases, but it was not going to be such a significant amount. Like a few years ago, it was a goal for many of us. Every time that we would see the new collection that Chanel was dropping, we would watch the runway, see the new colors, and think, oh, I love that. I'm gonna save for that beautiful pink medium classic flap, and love the ready to wear, love the accessories, the sunglasses, the shoes. I was so set on saving for the classic tweed Chanel oversized coat that it's always been a dream for me to buy one of them. But every time that I see the new collections, especially the ready-to-wear pieces, Chanel doesn't feel like Chanel anymore. It kind of feels like mini trends consistently, and that for me lacks the essence of Chanel itself, which is supposed to be something classic that doesn't matter if you buy it in 2022, that in 30 years down the line you're gonna be able to wear that and it would still be relevant. And now we see those hard heart bags and those star bags, and yes, they are unique, but you also see the ready-to-wear pieces. It just doesn't feel the same to me. And with the bags, it became some sort of a race to buy something before the price increase. It was just outrunning them every single time, overlooking the quality, overlooking the crooked bags, the dents, the scratches, the bags wearing faster every single time. And the only store where I can tell you that I just try to avoid going into. I don't know why, I just feel so weird every time that I go to the store. I don't feel like I can try the bags or the clothes. It just doesn't feel the same than in other boutiques, even if you're not like a regular customer, because let's be honest, I don't really buy that much Chanel anymore, but I just don't feel comfortable going anymore. And I understand that these price increases mean that Chanel is seeking to change their target audience from people aspiring to own one, saving for it, like a very thought and planned purchase because you see it as an investment for your closet, to really customers that don't really care about the price tag, that they probably are not gonna even look, they don't even care if there's been a price increase, they don't care if the bag is not the right color, they don't care if it's gonna wear a bit faster. And I can understand that Chanel wants to become more exclusive, but I feel like with this you need to offer so much more to the consumers so they still find maybe your wallet's appealing, because for me they lost me on the classic flaps a few years ago. I haven't been a fan of the new bags that they have been releasing, and I understand I'm not their target customer anymore, and that's fine. This is why there are so many fashion houses and different things out there for everyone. And the thing is that no matter the quality, the more expensive something is, the more desired it becomes, and that's really their goal, and to target to a different people that is not bothered by these price increases at all. Yes, I understand this, but at the same time you need to back it up somehow, and they're not doing it. They're just increasing their prices because they can. They could go back to do gold plating on their hardware. They could, I don't know, they could do something else to add value to their handbags and say like, hey, yes, we know that we have been increasing their prices, but we're offering this and that, and that is just not happening. And I don't know how this is going to reflect for them in the long run. Everyone has their limits, and for me that limit was passed a while ago, and I wish Chanel good luck with that. I'm very still interested in the shoes, especially the ballerinas. Those are really cute and I love them. Number 2 is going to be the Louis Vuitton Speedy, and I also have one, but I got this one a really long time ago. The Speedy has always been sort of like the bag that you get when you're starting into handbags. It's the entry bag, the starter bag. It's a classic, kind of hand in hand with YSL or for example Gucci a while ago with the Marmont. The Speedy is a classic that you just cannot go wrong with. Like, it's a really great bag. It has a strap, it has a lot of space, but it's a bag with a ton of canvas and just a tiny bit of leather. 90% of the bag, if not more, is just canvas. The hardware, I have to say, is clearly not the best quality. You can see it here, and you can also see it on the D-rings, like right here. Not even the zipper of my 3-year-old jeans that I've washed a ton looks like this. And I've talked about this a lot, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. The thing is, why is the hardware wearing like this? And when I bought this 5-6 years ago, I'm gonna put the price that it was and how much this same Speedy is right now. I just don't feel like the price can be justified anymore for the materials that it is. Yes, it is a classic, and usually classics come with a price tag, and that price tag was worth it, but a while ago. With the price increases, I just don't feel like this is a bag that I would recommend people to spend their money on now that it's rounding around the 2000s. Beforehand, it was below 1000. I don't think the price difference from a few years to now is something that we can justify. When it comes to the bag in particular, I would say the same probably for the Neverfull. So now jumping from the classic Speedy, $2,000, we go to the Pharrell one, the P9, and we have different sizes, different colors. This one is actually in leather, but it rounds up between the $9,000 and the $12,000, which, okay, the bag is not canvas, it's leather. It has a bit more things into it. I think it comes with a little pouch. You can see more details on the inside. The strap looks thicker, and I'm pretty sure the hardware is going to be way better quality. So yes, I do see that, but I still don't feel like it's worth the price tag. And I love the Speedy, different variations of the Speedy. I just don't feel like I would ever spend that amount of money, no matter the color or how exclusive. I would personally think those prices would be reserved reserved for the capucines in these artistic versions that they release that have a lot of intricate designs, crystal sequins, and they're just pieces of art and not a green leather Speedy. Number 3 is going to be the Margaux bag from the Row, or basically every bag from the Row, or even Phoebe Philo's new collection. And yes, I actually love the Margaux bag and I'm guilty of falling for the marketing strategy that they have done with this. I really like the bag, especially in the smaller sizes in suede, but I cannot justify the price. Most of these fashion brands and the major luxury fashion houses have a lot of history that backs up the why they price the way they price their bags and their clothing. This also goes in hand with the resale market and the value of the items after you leave the store. You just know that if you're buying something from Chanel, from Hermès, from Dior, that you're buying a piece that is going to stand the test of time, that you're gonna be able to add it to your closet, and in 10-20 years it's still going to be relevant. You still will find it beautiful and it will have a really good quality because of the history of the brand and what we have seen in the past. Now the Row entered in a very strong and also smart way into the market, especially with their bags. They started really high, and I think this would make people question, why are these bags so expensive? Why is every influencer buying it? Why is everyone saying that this is the next Birkin? And that makes you kind of want the bag, and I have fallen for that for sure. Like, this is why I never buy something when the trend is on its peak. If I see a new brand, a new type of handbag from even Chanel or Dior or Hermès, I like it, I would put it on my wish list, and I will wait for the hype of that trend to die down a little bit to then know if I really like the bag for what it is, and not just because everyone is talking about it and you see it so much. And that has helped me a ton. So that's also why I have not really tried the Row, besides the fact that the Margaux bag is really hard to find and buying in Europe is way more expensive than in the US. But I do think that if maybe they introduce the Margaux bag in the 1,000 euro, maybe 2,000 euro price point, people would just be less interested. So it's a matter of marketing to the right people and pricing the bag high enough so people think that it's worth it. And with social media, it just created the perfect environment for it to make it such a boom. But we don't know how long this is actually going to last. I can't really speak of the quality or the versatility of any bag from the Row because I do not own one. It's probably amazing quality if you compare it to other brands. I don't know if I'll ever buy one, but my 2 cents is that it's priced way too high. Even if the quality is amazing, I just don't feel like it's worth $5,000. The next one is going to be the Lady Dior, and I know that many will be surprised that I'm gonna add it to this list, but I do have a few reasons why I think it's just not worth the price point anymore if you buy it new from store. Even if the quality of the bag is still really good, maybe it's not the same that it used to be, but it's still quite good. They also have amazing customer service, and if you ask me, I think it's probably one of the best ones out there. Always my best experiences when I buy in store is in Dior. But now when I think about adding, let's say, an ABC Lady Dior new from store in a beautiful color, in my head the bag should be 3,000. Like, I got stuck in the time when Lady Dior's were 3,000, and now when I see the prices, I cannot believe it because they're now on the 6,000. The very special ones, of course, they're more expensive, but I just feel quite shocked every time that I see the price of a Lady Dior, when in my head, I don't know, I just got stuck in pre-pandemic prices. That's the disconnection that I probably have. So I personally prefer to look for them on the pre-love market because Lady Dior's, even if they're classics, they don't retain their resale value. So if you look on the pre-love market, even if it's something that it's almost brand new, it's going to be a few hundreds or thousands less than in the store, so you save a lot of money. So that for me makes the bag not worth the money directly from the store, but I do think that they're amazing bags and that if you find them on the pre-love market, they are very much worth it. This next one is something that I have debated if I want to put on my wish list or if I want to try or not, but it's the Hermès Constance. And I understand that Hermès is Hermès and they also have their price increases, of course not to the level of Chanel. I don't think that Hermès really needs to resort to any strategy. They're doing what they're doing and they're the best at it. Yes, they have their issues, lawsuits and all of that, but they have always remained very constant and expected when it comes to the price increases and the quality of their items, so I don't have any complaints in that sense. And the Constance, as beautiful as it is, and don't get me wrong, as I said, I've been wanting it for a really long time and I still might get it. Like, with me including the bag on this video, it doesn't really mean that I'm putting it off off the table forever. But I also think that the price point compared to how much, for example, a Kelly 25 is right now, that if we put the two bags on the same leather, Kelly 25 in Epsom and Hermès Constance in Epsom, the Kelly is 9,500 euros and the Constance is 7,600 euros. So the price difference that are already quite up there. I just don't feel like it should be priced as high. Same that the 24. I think that bag is beautiful, yes, but the price is quite up there too. And I understand that the Birkin and the Kelly are in their own sort of category, but the Constance is right there with them, and in some stores is also considered a quota, but I don't feel like it stands by itself equally with the others, if that makes sense. And I actually being a little bit more interested in brands like Joseph Duclos, that I love their bags, especially the Diane bag, and they have heritage leathers too. The prices are also very expensive, so there's no saving in that. But yeah, I wanted to add the Constance to this list because of those reasons. Another bag that I just feel like it's not worth the money is the Chanel Dauville, specifically talking about the ones that are not leather. And I love Dauvilles, I love the way that they look, I love that they're comfortable bags and that they fit a lot. So yes, I do love them, but at the same time I just cannot justify, for example, this one from the last runway video that I saw. I have not been keeping track of all of the Dauville releases, to be fair, but specifically this one, found it on the website. I think it's beautiful, but it's 9,500 euros, and that to me is insane. You can absolutely find other options for the Chanel Dauville brand new from the store. There are around the 5,000 to 7,000, depends on the material and the design of the bag, but I still think that the price is insane. And this applies to every bag that is this style. For example, the YSL Rive Roche, definitely not the same price point, but also even then I feel like these bags, I don't know, when I saw this bag on the runway and kind of liked it, also in the black version, I was definitely not expecting it to be 9k. So I have no idea how much it's going to be in the US, but definitely not worth the money in my opinion. And the last one for me, it's going to be Prada Nylon bags. And I have tried to understand the whys of the pricing. I know that there's a lot of history and that it was quite revolutionary, but at the same time, I don't think that there's a way that they can justify the pricing for those bags. And I've been so tempted because yes, I really like the designs. I really like how creative they can get with them. And especially in the last couple of years, I've seen them come back more and more, and they just have this really cool vibe to them. But I just don't know if it's worth spending thousands of dollars on a bag that is made out of nylon. I don't remember exactly where I read, but they say that the nylon is an insane quality, very similar to the quality of the nylon that they use to make sails for sailboats. And I actually know the prices of sails for small and for big boats, and the amount of fabric that they use to make one of these bags, like there's no way. So yes, they're really cool. Yes, I love the vibe that they have. They are pretty hard wearing bags and they are classics. I just don't feel like there's a way where I would actually spend my money on a nylon bag. So I've only been really tempted when they add crystals to them, because yes, for me, if they add crystals to a bag, then maybe it's worth it. I was really close to getting the crystal ones last year. I'm quite glad that I didn't, but these are my takes on bags that I just feel like they're not worth the money. Of course, this is just my opinion, and this doesn't even mean that I'm never ever going to buy any of this. Most of this I have, like the classic flap, the Speedy, the Lady Dior. I just been feeling like prices have been crazy lately, like especially in the last year or so, and thought it was a good topic to cover. But of course, this is only my opinion. If you're saving for any of these bags, if you want any of these bags or have any of these bags, that's all that matters. You do you. There's always something for someone, and I probably love a lot of things that are not worth it for most people out there, which is also fine. You do you, and whatever brings you joy, just do it. So this was just for fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and would love to chat with you in the comments on what you think about all of these bags, or if you want to add more to the list. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you're not done watching, I'm gonna leave YouTube videos right here in case you want to check them out. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye.